we were playing video games, and Casey was sitting there at the couch also on the laptop, and then all of a sudden there was a knock on the door, and I said, "Come in," and there was Amy just standing there with a miserable face, and we all looked confused, and then Casey then proceeded to go outside, and me and my roommate went back to playing video games.
When Casey came to the door, I asked her where Kaylee was, and she said she was with the nanny. I said, "Let's go pick up Kaylee," and she said, "No, Mom, it's kind of late in the evening."
My father called me. It had to be before 8 o'clock, and told me that, "I'm worried about your mother. Can you please go to the house? I want you to check on her."
Mrs. Anthony confronted Casey about a lot of those lies in the car, and she pretty much sat there.
Then about a half hour later, Casey and her mother, Cynthia Anthony, came to the door. Casey stormed in and looked like she was in tears, and her mom said, "Get your things, you're coming with me."
So after getting that call, I was at my mom's house within 5 minutes. Obviously, no one was at the residence when I got there.
Smell filled up the garage.
Yeah, it hits you like a wave. It was whatever it was very potent.
Okay.
Go through the garage door like I typically do. There was the only vehicle in there was the vehicle driven by my sister, the white Pontiac. The trunk was open. The windows were rolled down to what I assume ventilate the horrible smell that I had just smelled for the first time.
And then the grandmother made a comment to me while I was sitting on the couch, because she was waiting at the door, and I said, "Yeah, help me," because I've seen pictures of the woman, but I never met her. So I was saying, being friendly, like, "Hello, you can come in," because she was waiting out of the door, and she came in and she goes, "I hope you're rich, because Casey's going to take all your money and leave you high and dry." And me and my roommate were just looking at her like, "Wait, what? What? I don't know what."
It was very, very uncomfortable to be in the middle of that.
I can only imagine.
They were very loud. Pretty much it was a lot of just mother-daughter yelling at each other. "You're lying about me." She had told her mom that she was in Jacksonville that day, and she wasn't. And,
Any challenges about the child, though? Was grandma challenging her about the location?
She just kept saying, "You are taking me to Kaylee now." And Casey was like, "She's fine, she's with the nanny." And Mrs. Anthony was like, "Then if she is, then we're just going to go see her." She's like, "I want to see my granddaughter. I want to be selfish. I want to see my granddaughter." She's like, "You're taking her to me now."
That was, she said, she yelled at Casey, made that comment to me, and they both walked out the door.
And pretty much forced, Casey in the car. Or she kept saying, "Fine, we'll drop Amy off and we'll talk." And she's like, "We can talk, but you're taking me to Kaylee."
Dropped you back off of your apartment.
Yeah, so they dropped me off.
And she said, "Mom, we could go pick her up tomorrow." And I said, "I'm not waiting another day to see her." I said, "You're obviously not where you said you were, and, I'm not a believer right now that Kaylee's where you're saying she is." And she maintained that she was with the sitter, and I said, "Well, that's not a good enough answer." And we drove around for a while, and when I didn't get the answers that I wanted, I said, "Well, if I can't get you to tell me where she's at." But at this time, we weren't yelling, screaming, anything. It was still very calm conversation. I said, "Well, I guess I'm going to have to just drive to the police station." So I drove to Orlando Police Station, which was close to our home. And it was after 5:30. I didn't know they closed their doors at 5:30. So I sat in the parking lot, and I said, "Well, I don't know what else to do." I said, "I'm going to call 911. And she said, "Go ahead, Mom. You can call."
Hi, I drove to the police department here on Pershing, but you guys are closed. I need to bring someone into the police department. Can you tell me where the closest one I can come into?
What are you trying to accomplish by bringing them to the station?
I have a 22-year-old person that has grand theft sitting in my auto with me.
So the 22-year-old person stole something?
Yes.
Is this a relative?
Yes.
Where did they steal it from?
My car and also money.
Okay, is this your son?
Daughter.
Okay, so your daughter stole money from your car?
No, my car was stolen. We've retrieved it today. We found out where it was at. I've retrieved it. I've got that, and I've got affidavit for my banking account. I want to bring her in.
Again, they didn't know which jurisdiction I was in because I was sitting outside of the police department. So I figured, this is crazy. You don't know what to tell the police when you're not sure what to tell the police. So I decided to drive her back to the house.
I called my mother to see what was going on.
And I didn't realize my son was there waiting for me, and I'm glad Lee was here.